What's going on, you guys? Bryce McKinley here, Coach Sharpen. You know what time it is. It's Friday. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I am just wrapping things up. And so it is about 4 o'clock, or no, what time is it? It's a little after 3 Central Standard Time in Dallas here, and I wanted to make this quick video to help you guys identify your sellers. I want you to better understand who you're speaking to. And what's up, Brandon? What's up, Dan? I appreciate you guys for jumping on. I'm not going to be liking and tapping the screen because I've got it set up kind of funky this afternoon. But I want to share with you guys, how do you identify who your seller is? I literally was just tagged in a post in another group. And in that group, this guy is going live talking about his deal, and he's going to meet with the seller. ARV is like 100,000 and the guy wants 80,000, but he's driving to go get it. And it made me think, if this guy knew how to identify what this person was saying, he would have a better conversation and he wouldn't be wasting his time driving to some appointment that he's probably never going to get locked down, at least at a good enough price to make any money. So with that said, if you're watching on the live, do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching this from. If you're coming back on the replay, put hashtag replay in the comment section. In the meantime, this is a public group, and share this out, share it out on your wall, share it in your network, because somebody needs to hear this today. Somebody is driving around, wasting time, wasting money, and not getting all of the meat on the bone. And they're spending money in gas for all that matters. So how do you identify? Well, there's 3 main reasons or main whys, or how you identify who you're talking to on the phone before you set this appointment. There's a fourth additional one that's kind of underlying, but one of my students, actually Mario's on here, made me really get laser focused because I wanted to share this with somebody else. And so I'm going to do you guys a favor. So in the files section of this group as well, I'm also going to be putting a list of words that you can be looking for or listening for when you're speaking to the other person in the communication event. So if it's your wife or your husband or your kids, you can better communicate with them when you know how they hear what you're trying to say. What's up, Dan in Chicago? I love it, bro. That's my city. I'm glad to see that some people back home are watching. So what does that look like? Well, there's 3 main areas in which we all process things. I just said, what does that look like? So I'm a visual person when I hear that from the outside looking in, which I really am. I'm a very visual person, and I'm a visionary, and so I can see 20 miles ahead where most people see what's right in front of them. So the question is, how do you identify who your seller is, or how do you identify how the other person in a communication event hears what you're saying, or sees the picture you're trying to paint, or feels what it is that you're doing? So I did a live stream a couple of months ago in my private coaching group, and I figured, what the heck, I'll give you a little taste of that and share that with you today. So there's 3 main ways that people censor what comes into their life. And that is visual, that is auditory, and that is kinesthetic. So let's break that down a little bit so you understand when you speak to people, what you're saying and versus how they're hearing, listening, or seeing the picture that you're painting. So for example, if you're speaking to a visionary like myself, you may say the word see or sketch or glow or visible, right? So I just said earlier how I hear things, right? Visual is how I see things. So I talk about, I see it this way. So if I'm saying something and I recognize something and you're talking to me and you hear me say, oh, I see you, it's because I'm hearing you, but I'm a visual person, right? Or it appears, well, the word appear means something is showing itself. I'm a visual person. So when you're speaking to these people on the other end of the communication event, whether you're talking to a homeowner, trying to get your kids to do the dishes, pick up their room, when you hear words like see, aim, show, dim, clarity, obvious, foggy, shine, ugly, bright, those are all visual words or connotations that says those people listen visually. They need to hear those words, those visual expressions. The second one is auditory. It's hearing. It's how they listen. It's they hear things, or when they verbalize things, they say, I'm going to verbalize this. That means they want to hear themselves speak. Or maybe they're arguing, right? You hear people arguing. It's because those people are clashing and they got to hear something, so they tend to get louder, which creates tension. Maybe they say words like boom when they express things. I also do that. So I hear certain things auditorial. So I'm sharing this with you because I want you guys to better understand the person on the other side of the communication event, how you can relay a message, but more importantly, how they're going to hear the message. So when you're talking to them about the house and they're like, I see, well, guess what? Now you know that they're a visual person, and you can say things like, man, I wouldn't just go into this blindly. Guess what? Subconsciously, that says it's going to be able to be seen. Now you're speaking their language. Or if you're speaking to somebody that is auditory, you could say something like, listen up. Those people are going to actually listen. Or do you compute? That means they're going to hear it, right? The third and most common final way that people censor information coming into them is kinesthetically, meaning feeling, touching, pointing with verbal or nonverbal communication skills. So if you're speaking to somebody about a picture, rather than saying, I see that picture there, you might say, that picture hanging over there, right? So that way they have to turn and they have to see it. And now you're speaking a better language or a better communication for them. And so I wanted to just drop this live here, a quick free tip on Friday. Make sure that you know how your person is hearing or taking in information, but more importantly, know how you're going to communicate that with them. So when you're breaking down your deals, you can better negotiate with them when you know who you're talking to. And so if you look up in the group, literally right now as we speak, I just hit post. There's a post in the group with a file with a list of sensory-based words, so that way you can print it out, put it next to your script when you're on the call, setting an appointment, going to meet with the seller or a homeowner, or maybe your wife or your children. You know not only one, how they communicate, they want to be heard, they want to be seen, or they want to be felt, but now you know how to communicate back to them so that you can have better conversations. Here's the deal, you guys. I love you. God bless you. Stay sharp. Somebody needs to hear this. Make sure you share this out. Write in the comments where you're watching, and if you're just coming in, make sure you go back and watch the replay. God bless you guys. Stay sharp, and I'll see you at the top. Take care.